This man with lots of hair was just an ordinary beekeeper, but on day, the neighbors who he loved the most suddenly committed suicide because he was tricked by high-tech criminals into taking all his saving. I was so angry at our conscience-sapping behavior I stood up to search and fight against those black oppressors to avenge the poor old woman. Will he succeed or not? Please join us in watching the bald guy movie The Peaks, which was just released in 2024, because he hates fighting scenes and carrying his baby around. Our handsome bald guy has retired and become worker, a diligent and gentle beekeeper with the name Adam by his side. Now he only has his old neighbors who is a Yaloa to keep childhood. Besides the bees, she is the person I love the most. He responded with sincerity. She also invited the bald guy tonight, came to house for dinner. Later, you will check your emails on your laptop. Then suddenly their wearing screen will appear with the words, "Your computer has been infected with a virus." There is also a contact number below, hotline to assist in troubleshooting the problem. She was worried and called and met a support staff who knew that Iloa was a person who was technologically illiterate. This young man immediately made all kinds of threats and then gave her a final answer. She could take the phone to the store, urgent repair, but on the data in computer will be erased because the hard drive is infected with a virus. If you don't want to, you must immediately install our best security software to kill the virus. Just hearing it sounds like a scam. Then he immediately followed suit without knowing that the person who was instructing MS was actually part of a large-scale fraud hacker ring, and as a result, her entire saving of up to $2 million was lost. The wings flew away and those miserable scammers just stood up and applauded like the virtual president of TikTok, leaving on the other side a poor woman who was suffering to the extreme. On the other side was a bald man after on 2 day with the bees. He did not forget to make a special gift, a bottle of premium honey for Mrs. Iloa. However, as soon as arrived at her house, he was suddenly held at gunpoint from behind by Bona. She is her daughter, neighbors who was also an FBI agent. It turned out that she was just like Iloa. Because she was so desperate, she ended her own life. After investigating computer data, she discovered that her mother had been defrauded by criminals. The high-tech criminals she met to apologize to Adam for misunderstanding him as the perpetrators. She also told him the reason her mother did such a foolish thing. That high-tech scammer is a huge organization with a network spread across the United States. More importantly, they are backed by an extremely large force because every time they are sued in court, they are always the side that is sure to win. Even the FBI cannot touch them. Are you bald? What do you say? Drive back to your farm and then take out a package hidden in the bee box. It's a satellite phone used to contact your secret organization. It turns out the bald guy is an agent, just retired to enjoy the countryside. Now, because life has pushed him and life has punched him, he decided to return to the pond to avenge his poor wife after receiving information about the scammer. He is bald twice. 2 cans of gasoline were present at their building. 2 security guards ran out to stop him, punched each of them and forced them straight inside. He asked the receptionist to warn unrelated people, evacuated the building, and I went straight to the trial room. The scammer placed 2 cans of gasoline on the table and shouted loudly, "You guys are not well educated, but you're going to cheat. You're powerless when you're short of money, but you're not afraid that you'll have a bad child in the future. Do you have an or something? You think we're afraid of you? Who dares to laugh in your face? You should take care of your hair. Bald dad can curse you all you want, but once you touch my shiny hair, something will happen." He continuously threw punched and broke his profile picture. The guy who dared to joke about himself used gasoline to pour everywhere, making them scared. He jumped into his pants and quickly ran away. The manager saw that and brought the security guards to attack. He thought it was easy. Who would have thought that he would encounter a fierce beast? The bald war god straight up stuffing them with onions so that everyone who rushed in quickly collapsed on the floor. Then he gently took the explosion and attached it to the gasoline can, and the detonator was connected to the phone line. Only needs the victim to call the switchboard, then you will know. The manager was so scared that he jumped out of a large building and suddenly disappeared into smoke with just a phone call from someone. The technologically illiterate victim at the headquarters of Danford Corporations did not expect that the president of this giant corporations was a young man who was covering for Dirk, who was failing the judgment. When the manager called to report that suddenly there was a crazy guy, "I don't know where I came from, but I burned down the switchboard, boss." Derek was so angry that he immediately ordered the manager to quickly hunt down that bald guy who worked under the chairman of Chow Tray, a former director of the police department. American newspapers named Walls. There was no one he didn't know, but about Adam, he was clueless. So Derek called the old manager to review the recent fat victim to find clues. Finally, he found them, received a call from her house, and at the same time encountered the bald man pickup truck used to get to the switchboard. So he sent some gangster to carry guns, shoot to pieces his bee garden, and then aggressively entered the processing warehouse. Who would have thought? Before he could do anything, one guy was caught by Adam's neck and put a screwdriver in his eyes, so scared that his face turned blue like a frog ass. The bald guy gently wrapped his chain, then used his hand to press down on his throat and cut off another guy's head. Thirdly, he took the gun, pulled out the barrel, skewered it straight on the spot, then kicked it and flew in front of the manager. He was so scared that he started firing randomly and ran back, even more shaken when he witnessed the tragic outcome of his accomplices. The bald guy coldly appeared and pressed his hand on the chainsaw, causing the missile to destroy all 4 fingers typing on the keyboard. Then Ed 6 grabbed the Swallow backpack and left the scene. The manager drove to the middle. If you need it, take out your phone, call Derek. Boss, watch out for the beekeeper, he a real monster. But before he could finish speaking, Adam grabbed him by the neck and dragged him out of the car. Bro, I have a few million pi coins, price of each coin, about 7 billions, you two just need to nod and I will transfer it all to him. I'm bald and it not easy to handle chicken like some young men with strong beliefs in life. All I want is to make him pay, as a price for her death. He finished talking to him, so he put the car in gear and sent him off to the beach to play with King Tui Tin. After that, Adam used his phone to talk to the president. What's so good about it? So go ahead and eat whatever you haven't played yet, don't playing it. I'm about to carry you to the altar to sit and watch the green banners. Now Adam not only want to purge the oligarch but also eliminate the network of fraudster. The president of Trey Chow was now starting to feel a chip down his spine. He immediately went to see Wall to ask the former intelligence director to find a way to deal with him. As soon as he heard Derek mention the beekeeper, Walls become suspicious. Figuring out Adam's formidable background hidden behind at the FBI headquarters, they also had the result of an investigation of the entire computer data system in the switchboard building that had just been turned bald by the British. All data had been destroyed, showed that they were all criminal with even more high-tech fraud. It was just one of dozens of other call centers across the United States, so they speculate that there must have been a headquarters to run them in the United States. Year can earn hundreds of billions of dollars in dirty money. However, about Adam, the Verona agent and her colleagues are completed blind. It seems that all the data about him has been purged from the national data system, credit bank, or even his airplane travel history seemed like a ghost that existed outside the law. This made them begin to suspect that the bald man belonged to a secret government organization. Even the FBI, unbeknownst to him, at same time, Mr. Walls contacted a former soldier at the CIA intelligence agency, thanks to which the bald man's true identity was revealed. It turned out that he was a secret agent of the Beekeeper program, super top secret with a range of activities beyond the government. Bu Wong's secret agent mission is to protect and maintain stability for the Hive system, which refers to the military financial system or security throughout the United States. He even has the privilege of killing the queen bee if he finds that she produces bad things that can destroy the entire hive. Adam, who was stopping the car, refueling the car, was about to leave, when suddenly the car from behind crashed into the girl. The assassin had a bald head and stepped down to carry the goods, but the bald man quickly hid. The police heard the gunshot and immediately arrived at the scene, but before he could do anything, Adam disappeared right on the spot. Taking the opportunity to use a gasoline hose to attack her, she chose a stance that knocked away her opponent machine gun and pressed her head against the wall. At this point, he realized that this was an assassin sent by Wallace. She relied on her long legs to continuously kick towards her. Adam, but not a single shot could touch his opponent, but the bald guy grabbed his neck and threw it to the ground, then kicked him far away. The female assassin pulled out a gun to shoot, but when he didn't see him, she got angry and jumped into the car. The 6-barrel gun discharged bullet into the gas station. Was he trying to carry a suicide bomb or something? The bald man calmly took the jar of honey and threw it right at her head. He wanted to taste it to see if it was delicious, so he took the fire and turned it into honey grilled meat. Smells like a sore nose. The next morning the FBI came to investigate the crime scene, discovered the beekeeping manual on the female killed car. It turned out that she was also a bee agent but had only started to limp into the profession. The former intelligence director saw the bald guy as touch, so he plays big, hire a special fighting team to deal with him. Wallace warns not to be foolish and fight him one-on-one. The whole group must work together to fight to have a chance of winning. Meanwhile, Adam also broke into a base of the Beekeeper program. He immediately tracked them down, find the addressees of the next scammers, before leaving. He also didn't forget to pocket a few self-defense grenades. Agent Bona here also. Knowing about the Secret Service program, she reported everything about Adam to the deputy director of the FBI and predicted that the bald man's next target would be another switchboard in New York, so she was given a task force to support at the New York switchboard. Wall's mercenaries have arrived to set up a battle to set up Tien La Diavong to capture our bald war god outside the building. The FBI task force has also set up a blockade, while everyone around them was discussing a battle plan. Was beaten by the bald guy and sent to the field. He then controlled a special forces soldier to get inside. Really, actually, he just wanted to warn and didn't mean to kill the FBI team. But with this group of scammer, if they live, more innocent people will be harmed, like the nurse who beat him and immediately took charge when he saw Adam. The bald man immediately turned on high speed and ran away, wanting to drop his pants. They did not listen to Mr. Wall's wearing, but up to search. Waiting for the enemy to come near, he put down an electric wire and wrapped around the neck of one of them. The other guy took it right away. 2 kicks flew on the spot. When he saw movement, the captain approached cautiously. The bald man immediately pulled the lever to activate the building emergency system. As soon as he tiptoed forward, he immediately rushed out and grabbed the gun, shooting back at his disciples. There was only the captain left, who was playing solo with Adam. Even though the bald man had given him the option to surrender, this guy still aggressively held the axe and slashed at him, resulting in 2 shots from Adam, elbow to the face, then ate the entire fire extinguisher lying on the floor outside. Agent Bona decided to lead people in, and by this time Adam had already set up a trap in the elevator for the remaining mercenaries. When I saw him, I immediately chased him into the elevator and simultaneously fired my gun to empty the magazine. Then I heard a beeping sound, so I panicked and ran out. Unfortunately, I was caught in a cable trap and pulled back, casing the elevator and people to fall straight down. Hades played with DM Vong. After seeing them off to their final resting place, he arrested the New York switchboard manager and forced him to reveal the headquarters of the leader. He warned him that they were people who could not be touched. You can rest assured that even the president will play stupid. I can kill them, let alone those guys who are obedient. I will still leave room for them to breathe air, because I'm afraid of a peaceful and beautiful grave. So he confessed everything, right? At this time, Bona took the hot product and walked in. He said that it was this group of scammers who killed her mother, but Bona replied, let the law handle it. The bald man said that if the law could solve it, I wouldn't have had to act, and turned away. The one who left Bona saw the picture of the young president on the computer screen and understood what happened at the headquarters. Mr. Wall's Sky Owl informed Derek that he had no choice but to use his mother as a foil. It turned out that Derek's mother, none other than the current president of the United States. If she was with her, the Secret Service best wouldn't be able to attack. But that was a big mistake on their part, because the beekeeper has now determined to send his queen bee to the Golden Stream because he realized that she had given birth to a bad generation at the presidential mansion, where the son of the American leader chose to hide near him. As the entire elite force of the FBI was mobilized to set up a strict protective fence in the sky, the helicopter on the ground scanned not a single car passing by. Not even a nose could get inside. Unfortunately, the bald man is a hard-working honeybee. Mosquito can't get through, but the bees can still tear down the fence. This time, Adam chose the Tsong route. He used a skateboard to move under the car and then climbed up to wait for the soldier who had just poked his head in to check the undercarriage. The bald guy grabbed him and knocked him out so quickly that he didn't have time to groan. After changing his disguises, he boldly walked out and entered the mansion. Inside, Derek hired a famous assassin. He was once told by the bald guy that no one would accept this name. Came here to buy honey, making his girlfriend sad and in tears from then on. The assassin who hated England was bald to the bone and posted articles exposing England on social network. Mr. President also returned to the mansion this morning. When he met the noble son and asked him about it, he found out that he had caused a big disaster. Derek took advantage of the Dan Group, which originally specialized in providing secretly software to government agencies, then cabled the information of civilian and transferred it to the network. This earth-shattering story about the scam switchboard network shocked the president to her core. He plans to announce all the mistakes of his precious son to the public and is ready to bear all the consequences before the outside beekeeper. Adam has also changed to wearing an elegant suit to be able to infiltrate the mob party. Because he didn't want to affer innocent people, he deliberately lured the female agent out. Rona immediately informed her teammates and chased after Adam. He was bald to let them go, caught up with me, and obediently raised his hands to surrender with a bright smile on his lips. The sensitive assassin threw that he was being discriminated against by the bald brother, so he tried to squeeze someone, but unfortunately he pressed the button to detonate the goods. A series of cars nearby took advantage of the chaotic situation. Adam grabbed a gun and shot a silent guy in the face who specializes in kicking other people rice bowls, and conveniently scooped up the corpses of a few mercenary subordinates. Then, the bald guy controlled an agent to get inside to meet the FBI. Adam just punched them unconscious and the mercenaries. He just went straight for it. After defeating them, he leisurely walked into the middle of the layered siege, but he was not afraid to avoid Dong. West just kept gliding like the wind and temporarily borrowed guns from the special forces to kill the assassins. The young FBI men were powerless. In front of the top bald man, after cleaning up, he stood tall and walked forward. The assassin took him by surprise. If you rush into attack and fight, he is not your opponent. This guy is covered in iron, so punching him will only hurt his arm. Pull out your knife and say, do you remember how you chased me out of the honey shop? Bald continued to reply that my shop has a camera installed, so don't ignore public opinion anymore. After hearing that, he immediately panicked. He slashed the electrician's hand and threw Adam against the wall. Then he was counterattacked and he locked his arms and threw him to the floor. This guy is thick-faced, so he didn't know what the pain was. He immediately rushed forward and skewered him, causing him to receive a blow to the hip. Adam tried to suppress the pain. He pushed his hand away, but human strength was difficult to fight against the machine. But for the bald man, nothing was impossible, so he changed his move and kicked the iron leg. Then kneeled him straight in the face, then gave him a stab through the back of his hand, then pinned another knife right in the left chest. Seeing that it wasn't enough, Mr. Boi added another stab right in the carotid artery, ended with a hook punch that helped him have a lasting sleep in the president room. Derek went crazy and opened fire to shot the deputy director of the FBI. That when Adam broke the door and entered, seeing that, the goddamn son immediately took his own mother. To do it, hostage agent Verona has also arrived. Baldy again gave her the choice between corrupt law or upright justice. After speaking, he bluntly shot Derek right in the middle of Derek's head and jumped out of the window to escape. At the last minute, Bona still had the opportunity to destroy Adam, but she decided to put down her gun to choose the side of justice. And the president screamed bitterly at the departures of her illegitimate son. This is the end of the movie. Hello and see you again.